Hey Fit Fam, just a quick video. I know sometimes when you're transitioning to eating healthy, it can get a little overwhelming in the price department. So I just want to show you a couple of things that I do to cut back on price. So I was at the grocery store last week and I actually found green beans on sale. Typically at my local store they are anywhere from $1.29 to $1.69 a pound, and they were on sale for 99 cents a pound, so I stocked up. So what we're going to do today is you can have a couple of options. If you have freezer space, I don't right now, blanch them and freeze them. And they make an easy snack, especially if you do them in serving size baggies. It makes it easy to prepare for your meals, and you've got them in advance. The other thing that you can do is, what I'm going to do today is actually can them. So I've got everything started. I'm not going to do a video on canning. There are far more people who are far more qualified than I am to actually do a video on canning, but I've got my my jars and my water temperature rising, and I'm actually going to go ahead and prepare my green beans. I measured out to see what I had, and actually I have a little bit extra for that size jar. So we are actually going to ferment one jar of green beans. Very, very, very simple. We'll do a video on fermenting and the benefits and why we do fermenting at a future date, but in the meantime I'm just going to show you a quick, easy way how I do it. And something that's storable, it's ready for later. Fermented green beans actually make a great snack, full of probiotics, super healthy, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Welcome back, and by now I've got my cans ready, so we're going to throw in this one last can. What I ended up doing today was I did 3 cans with seasoning, or 3 jars rather with seasoning, and I've got minced garlic, salt, or canning salt, pepper, and a little Italian in here. And then I did 2 jars of, that one's a little warm, 2 jars of plain green beans, primarily for soups, stews, anything like that. So one of the things I didn't talk about before was, like I said, I found these on sale. So what I did to kind of make it more affordable was I cut back on some of my other organic veggies, and I compromised and got local veggies, which were less expensive, so that I could afford to get these green beans and stay on budget and be able to have these for later. So as you see, I ended up with 5 jars. So we'll throw this on. I ended up with one last small jar. And so what I want to do with this is we're actually going to ferment these. They call lacto-fermenting. Google's your best friend on this. One thing I will say about fermenting, Pinterest also has a lot of great info, and we'll do a video again on this later, but educate yourself, study, know exactly what you're doing and what you're putting in your body and why or why not. So what we're going to do, as you see, I just have a clean jar, and I have packed as many green beans in here as I can. I have a lot of leftovers. So we're actually going to use some fresh water, and I'm going to fill it up to the ring here, or what they call, I guess, leaving a little head, about 1 inch of head space. And here's the coolest part. It doesn't get any easier than this. Most recipes will tell you to use sea salt, Celtic sea salt. Not all sea salt is the same. I'm just a huge fan of Himalayan pink sea salt. I live and breathe by this stuff. I've fermented a lot with it in the past, and so it's always worked out for me. That's what I'm going to continue to use. So green beans, I actually find most recipes I read told me to use a tablespoon of salt, and I thought it was just way too much. By the time I went to eat them, I tasted salty pickle, and I want to taste pickle with a little bit of salt crunch. So I'm actually going to cut back on my tablespoon a little bit, and I'm going to dump that in. And then here I've got whey protein isolate. I buy this here in Houston. I buy it at Sprouts. It's a little expensive. It runs about $12.99 a pound, but I have had this for a year, and I'm in no danger of running out anytime soon. So it's a little pricey, but it's one of those things that will last you in the long run. And I buy it by the weight, so you don't have to get an entire pound at once. So I'm just going to do a tablespoon of whey.
what I have, actually I don't, I threw it away. Just something I've gotten in the habit of doing with canning is just to take a paper towel with a splash of vinegar to wipe the edge down. Wipe the rim, make sure it's nice and clean and fresh. And when I can veggies, or excuse me, when I ferment tight, I do upside down and back down. And this is literally going to sit for anywhere from, well, starting at 7 days plus. So we'll actually come back, we'll check this in about a week, we'll see what it has going on. A lot of times what we'll do is store it in a cool, dark place. I put it in the bottom floor of my pantry. And what you'll start to see after a few days is little bubbles coming up. It'll actually look like it's boiling inside, but that's the green beans fermenting. So this is what we've got going here, and when we get done, we'll just show you the finished product and call it a day. See you in a bit. Hey Fit Fam, welcome back. Believe it or not, it's actually been 2 weeks. It took me a minute to get back to the video, but at any rate, we have got everything done. So I want you to come in and see. As you remember, we ended up with 5 jars of green beans. Everything's been washed, scrubbed. They've all been labeled. They're nice and sealed. And as you can see, they're not going anywhere. What's interesting is I went back to the grocery store last week, and green beans had jumped back up from from 99 cents up to $1.69. So I'm glad I was able to get these while I could. Now, the fun thing, I haven't touched these yet. These are the fermented green beans. I've tossed them a few times just to throughout the time and make sure they're equally soaked. But at any rate, I want to open these, and I'm going to do it over a bowl. I learned this when I made kimchi, because sometimes it fizzles over and I want to keep the juice. But at any rate, we've got a nice clean jar. These, tell it's a lot of pressure, so I just want to see how they've turned out. Oh, already I'm starting to hear the buzz. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Hold that thought. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So, as tough as I like to think I am, yeah, this jar still kind of kicked my butt. But at any rate, as you can see, it's definitely been busy. It's a little corrosive around the edge, but we're going to open it up. Nice and safe on the inside, of course. I'm going to set those down. They smell awesome. If you haven't had fermented foods, I would kind of equate it to like a pickled green bean, but not so vinegary. So I'm going to sample, pull a few out, see what we come up with. They're crunchy. Oh, they're perfect. They're absolutely perfect. They're delicious. You know, I hate to say this, but these would go great in a Bloody Mary. But at any rate, you didn't hear me say that. Fermented green beans, great snack, full of probiotics. Like I said, we will get a video going on that. In the meantime, we ended up with 5 jars of green beans, so we've got food ready to go. It'll last us if we don't need it right away, but on those weeks where money's a little bit tight, got my sides done. So hope that's helpful to you guys, and you know, nothing major, but always just cost-saving tips that help to keep everything healthy and keep the budget at bay and make it all work. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to hit me up. Contact info is listed after, and you guys know the deal. As always, make smart choices.